This is our study group, and we're going to present our topics, an overview about we have seen in classes. So the members of this study group are Daniel Cano Vigil, Yahir Caballero Solís, and Maria Arturo Garcia Perez. So we're going word by question and catching this overview about the most interesting topic that we have seen and caught up in the lessons. So the introduction, this is a question of introduction. Which topic impacted you the most and why? Let's start with Daniel Cano.
Okay, I think the topic that it's more interesting for me is when we talk about ELT, the language English teaching. I found too much interesting this basic concept we watch in the class, like the structural view of the language, like we know about grammar, the forms, the system. We talk about the functional view, like the expression, of the language, this vehicle to expression a functional meaning, like the communication. And the interactional view, like is something what we're going to do now. So this is the realization of the interpersonal communication to performance interactions, social interactions like we are doing now. So I think this is the most interesting part we watch.
Okay, I think the topic that most impacted me was the type of the type of learns because you as teacher you can learn in different ways because it's not the same to teach for young children to an adult or for an adolescent, so I think that it's very important to have and be focused on what we want to learn and teach about. So I think that's the most that impacted me. What do you think about Jair Caballero Solis?
Yeah, the topic impacted me the most was the types of vocabulary because it's so interesting how we can keeping in our mind all the different words we can use in different contexts, and it's so interesting for me. It's so necessary. So
Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay, bro. Let's start with the questions. So the first, these are the questions that we're going to discuss about. So the first question is do you think the different type of learners influence the teaching methods and why? So, okay, let's start with Daniel.
Yeah, of course, yes. We have to think like teachers. So we have to know how are our students. If we have a learner that is more musical, we can introduce in our classes music, like I don't know, the ABC, we like songs, dances, and something like that. If we have more physical students, we can dance, we can make like I don't know, things that has to be activities with our.
Okay. Yeah. What else?
That's it. I think that's it's too important because we have to know the different type of learners because we have to take our class with this type of learners,
Okay, I think the different learners influence the teaching methods a lot because it's very important to have a method exactly what we want to teach about. So it's very important how I say that we can teach to different type of students or like a different way from a children an adolescent, you know, because we have different type of mindset and different concepts like how we can learn more about. So I think it's very important. And that's it about my opinion. I don't know what you think about Yair Caballero Solis.
Yeah, I think the learner's influence is so important. Yeah, because we should focus about how they can learn, and we can too switch when the different teaching method we are learning right now. It's so important that for me it's so important.
Okay, that's it. So let's continue with the next one questions, with the second one, I'm sorry. So how does the teacher motivation influence the students? What about you, Daniel?
Well, the teacher has to be motivated because if I'm happy, like teacher, my students maybe will be happy. If I make dynamic and fun in my class, my learners will be motivated, will be active, dynamic too. So if I am motivated, I bring to my learners a class with quality, you know. So it's very important to a teacher be motivated and motivate the others. I don't know, we can motivate like teachers with one extra point, with some time, you know, like I will give you 10 minutes to relax or to go out and something like that.
What about you, Yair Caballero?
I think motivation is start working when we create a relationship with the learner or their students. If we create a healthy and very interesting relationship, we can create a good, very good way to motivate them to the learning, and then we can use the teaching method for getting all the things we are looking for.
Okay. I also think that when you can motivate, like it sounds like when you love your work, I think you can motivate to others to do the same thing as you. So because if you could be a teacher, others could be doing it, right? You understand me? So I think the motivate also influencing how you feeling inside of you and maybe outside of you. You know, so I think it's very important to motivate to others to do what their goals, do what they want. So I think it's very important for us. So that's my opinion. The next question is how we can put in practice the passive vocabulary. What about you, Daniel?
Well, the passive vocabulary are words we already know, but we don't use it. So I think we have to think, really think what we're going to say. I don't know, like changing words when you're going to say, if you say, I don't know, if you usually say, I'm making a cake, there's another word that it's better for this sentence. I'm baking a cake because it's a better word, you know? So if we think really, I know that the word baking goes with cake, but I usually use make. So I really have to think what I'm going to say to start using my passive vocabulary.
Okay, I think, in my opinion, that's okay, bro. So, in my opinion, I think the passive vocabulary is a word that we can keep in the mind, but we don't use in the writing or speaking. Maybe we can't listen from other people because it's. I think, for example, the synonyms could be like a way of passive vocabulary because there are words that we can keep in mind with the same content, but we don't use when we write or when we're speaking about. So can you understand me? So
Yeah.
I think that's my opinion about this. I think it's very important what you say because you had the reason. I don't know what you think about Jair Caballero.
Yeah, we can put it in practice when we switch it with some context we can work. Following the idea of Daniel's, oh, I'm sorry, Daniel's idea is right. Is like baking. We can use baking where in the kitchen or another like we can use all the different words, but it more should work in the right context, and we can so help us with the passive vocabulary. We didn't use it so much, but with the context, it is going to help us.
Okay, I agree, bro. That's a good idea and a good concept by your opinion. So the next question is, how important is the teaching methods and approach as a teachers? So what do you think about it, Daniel?
Well, if we are talking about method and approach, we have to understand that the approach is the theoretical part of the language learning or any topic, and the method is this theoretical part putting in practice. So it's really important to know the teaching method and approach because it's the basement of our teaching, of our classes. So it's really important because if we don't know the methods of teaching, the approaches of teaching, we can't teach in this case because it's the basement of all we're going to do. So
I
it's really
think,
important.
yeah, I got the same opinion because you gotta be focused on what you want to teach and what you want that they learn about because you gotta be focused and have a method, but it can work, you know, because if it doesn't work, it's not a method because you gotta take a method that it could work. So I don't. That's my opinion. I don't know what do you think about Yair.
Yeah, they are so important, method and approach. They actually use theory. It is so important. We can improve all the theory for teaching, I think.
Yeah, it's very important to have a method like an activities or something like that, different type of teaching. Okay, that's it. The next question is what's the personal meaning of retrieval? So what do you think about retrieval in your own
Oh,
opinion?
yeah. Well, my concept of retrieval, if I give you some information and I continue with what I'm talking with my class, I don't know if I am teacher, and I will talk to you about papers, pencils, and other things. But I told you this bottle is color red, so remember it. And I continue talking and talking and talking, and then at the end of the class, I don't know, I question you like, okay, somebody remember what's the color of the bottle I showed you 3 minutes ago? And the principle of retrieval is, I remember the bottle was red. So this is like my personal meaning of retrieval.
Okay, in conclusion, I think the personal meaning is like practice the knowledge that you're getting with the brain. So, and to out of the brain because it's powerful of a strategy. So I think when the students, when our brain it's getting full of information that we're going to remember about it, you know. So I think it's a very like strong meaning about it, but at the same time, it's a short meaning because
Yeah.
that's the idea. What do you think about Yair?
My personal meaning, retrieval. It's something we can for improving vocabulary. It's something you can catch and catch all the words we can catch, and then use it in the different ways we are working with. It's like all the words I am like Daniel's word, the bottle, the red bottle, something like that. And then I'm going to ask you about that word, and you must to remember. Is how the retrieval works for me.
Okay, that's it. I'm agree with you guys. So the last question is, how do we think we can put communication skill strategies into practice? What do you think, Jair Caballero?
Communication skills strategies. Oh, yeah. We can use it. I could remember about this is speaking, listening, and seeing or something like that. Is we can put it in practice the strategies in different contexts also. So I think we can put it do it in different activities where we can use all these like speaking, how we can communicate with each other with all the students, also with the listening, how we show the words we're saying, in the viewing, how we can use the materials or some like the physical things to teaching the different vocabulary we're using.
Okay, I think some because I think that we can put in communication into practice like as the same we can do activities like writing, speaking, or listening. For example, in speaking, we can get conversation in pairs on and in groups or something like that. So I think in the speaking, we can sing a song, tag with another people, like whatever thing or anything you want to do. So I think you can put in practice communication and things like that, you know. So that's my opinion. What do you think about Daniel Humberto?
Well, the communication skills, like all of you said, I don't know, the listening, we can put a song, and then with this song, I can make small groups and talk about the song. So if you listen, and then we are going to speak about them, and then I know, make a text about what do you talk about, and this is the writing communication. So we can, with one activity, we can use all the communication skills, you know.
Okay, that's all of this was very important because these topics were the most interesting for us. So it's very important to get all this knowledge to put in practice in the future as a teacher we going to be in the future. So with conclusion, I want to ask you, like, how do you think you can prove and put these aspects into practice for your profession in the future? How you think you could do it? I don't know. Who want to say your opinion? What about you, Daniel?
Well, like the question says, we have to put in practice. In one class, I will put in practice the communication skill of listening. And in the other class, I will put in practice the communication skill of speaking. And I don't know, I'm going to use the principle of retrieval and all of this. I think it's only practicing and planificate all we are going to do, and that's it.
Yeah, I think the same, bro. I'm agree with you because we can improve in the future as teachers, put in practice everything, all the skills that we used to use all the time, like speaking, writing, everything that include uh, in this English, so we can put in practice in the future a lot. So how you say, planificate everything you wanna teach or you wanna learn. So all of that is very important to improve. So you gotta take all the skills and all the points to have an idea to what you wanna do or what you wanna say. So I think that's important. What do you think about Caballero?
Yeah, I think I can improve it in my personal opinion. I can improve it if I get more study. I am still studying about this because it's so interesting and important. And into the practice, I could do it for my way, in my way. Is doing I am doing in practice so interesting because I'm going to use it for context, and we can use the vocabulary for the context because I think context is so necessary for teaching, and that we can learn in these topics. It's so necessary and important for teaching, and that is my way I put it in practice.
Okay, I think that's it. Uh, I think that's it in this study group. I hope you appreciate this. So thank you very much for your opinion, Jair and Daniel. I hope it could help you in the future and to be better in all aspects you practice in your profession. So this is everything for this study group, and goodbye.